In Belfast, the Republic of Ireland had to get a result against their Northern Ireland neighbours to qualify for their second finals running. At Windsor Park, our commentator is Tony Gubba.
The incentives could hardly be more different. For the Republic, it's nothing less than a place at next year's World Cup finals. For Northern Ireland, it's merely the satisfaction of denying great rivals that ticket to the USA. Well, Northern pride and ambition are further fuelled by the retirement of Billy Bingham as the international manager. He'd be the first to admit it isn't the strongest team that he's picked in 117 internationals. There are only 3 players here from clubs in the Premier Division, but they'll not lack for commitment. And in number 9, Jimmy Quinn from 2nd Division Reading, they've the player who's currently the top scorer in English football with 21 goals. He indeed is the only change from the team that lost 1-0 in Denmark. There's just one absentee from the Republic's team. Steve Staunton would have played if he'd been fit. He's replaced by Arsenal's Eddie McGoldrick, who hadn't been picked for the last 5 internationals. Niall Quinn shoulders the responsibility of getting the goals that they require tonight for the Republic. The referee, Mr. Ahmed Kaka of Turkey. Alan MacDonald of Queen's Park Rangers, the captain of Northern Ireland. And the match not helped tonight by a really strong gale. Paki Bonner winning his 69th international cap for the Republic. And it's the Republic who kick off a match that they really have to win. A draw may prove good enough, dependent on the result in the other match being played tonight between Spain and Denmark. But this is the worst-case scenario, which really came about as a result of that 3-1 defeat the Republic suffered at the hands of Spain, and an early miss there by McGrath. This is Hughes. And perhaps an early indication of the problems that defenders might face in the teeth of this really fierce gale. Michael Hughes currently playing his football in France with the early strike, which was always well wide. Townsend, good jump. Quinn flicked on nicely. There was a handball, but play waved on. Quinn. That was a great effort by Niall Quinn. From fully 35 yards or maybe more, elected to have a very early strike at Tommy Wright. There were appeals initially for a handball, and Wright was happy to see that one drift a couple of feet wide. Consensus of opinion before the match that possibly one goal would just settle it. Quinn's flick on, cleared by Kernahan. It's Maldonaghy. Townsend's header, Magilton, and neither side able to take possession of the ball for longer than a few seconds. And another free kick. Three in the wall. This is Quinn, and that was very optimistic, but it took a deflection anyway, and so Northern Ireland have forced the corner. And the corner played short. Knocked in by Jim Magilton. Bonner's come for it, and he just managed to claw it away from the forehead of Alan MacDonald at the back post. Northern Ireland enjoying a little spell of sustained pressure. Again, it's knocked in, looking for Quinn. The ball had beaten McGrath, and Quinn wasn't able to direct it down. Looked as though Paul McGrath had jumped a little bit early. Here's Aldridge, didn't bounce kindly for him. And that's been scooped away finally for a corner. But if the bounce had been a little bit more favourable to John Aldridge, that might have been the opening goal. It comes over his shoulder and then seemed to drop back towards him instead of in front, which is where he wanted it. And there was quite a strong push from Alan MacDonald. Terry Phelan goes in strongly, again play waved on. McGoldrick. Ray Houghton won the header, but he couldn't get enough force behind it. In fact, it's Roy Keane. He couldn't get enough force behind it, and now the ball has gone out to enable treatment to the injured player. Not sure if Roy Keane was trying to direct that back towards Ray Houghton. This is Magilton. Now Mel Donaghy. Gray's little touch. Hooked over his head by Hughes. Well, the crowd on the far side for a moment thought it had gone in. Young Michael Hughes, who's the baby of the side at 22, so alert to the possibility here. And Bonner was scrambling. Well, there's no sign in that first half of any suspicion that Northern Ireland would do their neighbours from the south a favour in this match. It's been very committed, very competitive, but it hasn't produced a goal. At half-time at Windsor Park, it's Northern Ireland 0, the Republic 0, and still they haven't got the victory that they require for that World Cup qualification. And 6 is Mel Donaghy, quickly dispossessed by Andy Townsend. This is Roy Keane. Houghton. Nigel Worthington told to leave it by Taggart. And that's gone straight into the crowd. And the Republic have a throw, which Dennis Irwin of Manchester United will take. Ray Houghton lays it back to Dennis Irwin. 2 to look for in the box, and that's hit over both of them. And the defender Gary Fleming just shepherding the ball out of play for a goal kick. Clash of heads between Kernahan and Quinn. The referees looked at the two players who are both holding their heads. In fact, he's given a decision against Alan MacDonald just on the edge of the Northern Ireland penalty area. Billy Bingham, as agitated as he's been, free kick was given, and Dennis Irwin is something of a free kick specialist, just indicating to the referee he wants the ball back the full distance. It's certainly in a good range for the Manchester United fullback. The wall edging forward. Irwin points it out, but he'll have to take it as it is. And he didn't get it past the defensive wall, but they came forward too soon, and it will have to be taken again. And the letter of the law is that there should be a caution if players break out, and that is the case. Kevin Wilson, the offending player. So Dennis Irwin has another try, and this time the wall surely can't break early. Again, he didn't get it through the wall, but Ray Houghton saved by the legs of Tommy Wright. Irwin can knock it back. He's looking for help, and there isn't any, and it'll be a corner. Now it's a goal kick. Must have just clipped the heels of Dennis Irwin, but that's the closest the Republic have come to getting the goal that they require. Irwin trying to knock it right through the wall. Ray Houghton pouncing on the loose ball. Good save by the Nottingham Forest keeper. Michael Hughes came off McGrath, and Northern Ireland have broken out of the defensive position into which they've been pushed back for quite a long spell. And Nigel Worthington looks to be winding up for a throw deep into the Republic penalty area. Quinn knocks it back. He did it well. Oh, it was a shot from Wilson, blocked by the defender. And that hit the back of Roy Keane, but it's retrieved by Ray Houghton, and it's a much better match in the second half. Roy Keane came off the feet of Magilton, and it's another corner, but at the other end, Kevin Wilson of Notts County looked to be so close to putting Northern Ireland ahead. It was a long throw by Nigel Worthington, laid back by Quinn, and in fact it was Alan Kernahan who turned his back on it, who proved the obstruction. Alan McLaughlin of Portsmouth on as a replacement for Ray Houghton. And Dowie gets his first touch. Quinn. Worthington. Dowie again. Shields the ball well and gets it through to Wilson. Down to Quinn. Oh, it's a wonderful strike! And inevitably it's that man, Jimmy Quinn. The North have taken the lead. And Windsor Park has erupted. That's how much it means to Northern Ireland. And Billy Bingham's last match as manager may yet bring that strange twist of glory if they are to defy and deny the Republic. What a great strike by Jimmy Quinn. That's a player on top of his game. His 22nd goal of the season. Remarkable. We're only into the middle of November. His 8th goal for Northern Ireland, and that now asks all the questions of the Republic. Quinn gets a little flick on Aldridge, but he's had to go wide. Came off the defender. And Worthington and McGoldrick were shoulder to shoulder. It looked fair enough. But the free kick has been given, and Irwin will take it. Irwin with the free kick. Oh, it's a great goal by Alan McLaughlin, the substitute. It's 1-1, and the Republic live again. Oh, what an occasion for McLaughlin. His 15th cap for the Republic, and the Portsmouth player hit that so truly. Header out was by Taggart, but he had one touch to control it, and then left-footed wide of Tommy Wright. And suddenly the dream is rekindled, one apiece. And the feverish checking of the watches continues. Quinn's flick on. And again, Townsend who knocked it up. That was Fleming. Townsend again. This is Terry Phelan. There was no help for him, but he's got a free kick. Tommy Wright anxiously organising his defence. And Terry Phelan leaving the kick eventually to Dennis Irwin. Didn't get it past Maldonaghy. Knocked into Phelan. Now they may be caught short a little bit here, the Republic. Now it's good cover by the substitute and goal scorer McLaughlin, who's just checking with the officials on the touchline for information about the other score. And I'm sure the fact that Spain are winning 1-0 will have been relayed to these Republic players. Maybe a 1-1 result would be the perfect outcome, and it is a 1-1 draw, and the Republic celebrate what they believe is a passage to the World Cup in the United States. The latest score that they know from the other match is that Spain are winning 1-0, and if that stays the case, they will qualify as a result of having scored more goals. What a night of drama. Let's hope the celebrations are not premature, because our understanding is that the game in Spain hasn't yet finished, but they're certainly celebrating as if it has. The ticket that they thought they'd booked several matches ago to the United States now looks as if it's there for reality.
Well, they had to wait a while to find out for sure, but qualify they did as a result of Spain's 1-0 victory over Denmark in Seville tonight. Ray Stubb, let's get some reaction from them now.
I wasn't very happy with our performance tonight. We played a lot better than that and can play a lot better than that. But they battled hard at the back and frustrated us a great deal.
But it was always going to be a tense affair with so much at stake.
Yes, it was tense, and I'm glad it's all over now.
Well, everyone seemed to think that, you know, it'd be Northern Ireland would make it easy for us. But if you would have been here before the game, the Northern Ireland fans were getting right behind them, and it was a difficult game. It was probably our toughest away game.
Well, there been a long, hard trip. We've had 12 games to play in about 16 months, and players have had a very hard season this year. We could do with a little break now until probably March, and then we'll pick it up for the World Cup from there.